What if a single project on your homestead could pay back every dollar you invested in it? Better yet, what if it continued making money year after year? Many people think of homesteading as an expensive lifestyle. They picture endless costs for tools, animals, fencing, seeds, and equipment. While it's true that every homestead requires investment, the most successful homesteaders think differently. Instead of asking, "How much will this cost?" they ask, "How long until this pays for itself?" That simple shift in thinking changes everything. Some homestead projects don't just reduce expenses. They actually become income-producing assets. A well-designed chicken coop can generate eggs to sell every week. A productive herb garden can supply local customers for months. A compost system can improve harvests while reducing fertilizer costs. Over time, these projects begin working together. One project supports another, savings increase, income grows, and the homestead becomes more self-sustaining every season. In this video, we're counting down 10 homestead projects that have the potential to pay for themselves and continue generating value long after the initial investment. Whether you're working with a backyard, a quarter acre, or several acres, these ideas can help you build a more productive and profitable homestead. Let's get started. At first glance, a compost pile may not seem like a money-making project. After all, it doesn't produce vegetables, eggs, or livestock. But compost quietly improves nearly everything else on the homestead. Instead of buying bags of fertilizer every season, you begin creating your own nutrient-rich soil. Kitchen scraps, garden waste, grass clippings, leaves, and even certain types of livestock manure can all become valuable resources. Healthy compost improves soil structure, increases water retention, encourages beneficial microorganisms, and helps plants grow stronger. Healthier plants often produce larger harvests. Larger harvests create more opportunities for savings and income. A compost system also reduces waste. Materials that would normally be thrown away become valuable inputs for future crops. Some homesteaders even sell finished compost or compost worms to local gardeners. While compost may not create instant profits, it reduces ongoing expenses while increasing long-term productivity. That combination makes it one of the smartest investments any homesteader can make. Sometimes the projects that save money are just as valuable as the ones that generate it directly. Water is one of the most valuable resources on any homestead, yet many people rely entirely on municipal water or expensive wells without considering alternatives. A rainwater collection system can reduce water costs while improving resilience during dry periods. Even a simple setup using gutters and storage barrels can capture significant amounts of water during the rainy season. Collected rainwater can be used for gardens, fruit trees, flowers, and in many areas, other approved non-drinking purposes. This reduces dependence on treated water and lowers utility bills. For larger homesteads, expanded rainwater systems can support irrigation and reduce pressure on existing water supplies. The financial benefit comes from both savings and productivity. Reliable irrigation helps crops survive dry weather. Healthy crops produce better harvests, and better harvests create greater opportunities for income. Rainwater collection also prepares your homestead for unexpected water shortages or restrictions. Like compost, it strengthens the entire system. One simple project can continue creating value year after year with relatively little maintenance. That's exactly the kind of investment successful homesteaders look for. Raised garden beds are one of the fastest ways to increase food production on a small homestead. While they require some upfront investment in materials and soil, the long-term benefits often outweigh the initial cost. One of the biggest advantages is improved soil control. Instead of struggling with poor native soil, you create an ideal growing environment from the very beginning. This often leads to stronger plants, healthier roots, and larger harvests. Raised beds also warm up faster in the spring, allowing many gardeners to start planting earlier. That longer growing season can translate into additional harvests each year. Maintenance becomes easier as well. Weeding is often reduced, drainage improves, and working at a higher level is more comfortable than bending over traditional garden rows. When managed properly, raised beds can produce impressive amounts of vegetables in relatively small spaces. Fresh produce reduces grocery bills. Any surplus can be sold to neighbors, co-workers, or local markets. Over several growing seasons, those savings and sales can easily repay the original investment. After that, the beds continue producing value year after year. They're not just a place to grow food. They're an investment in long-term productivity. That's why raised beds earn a place among the best homestead projects that pay for themselves. Few homestead projects offer as many opportunities as a small flock of backyard chickens. Chickens provide fresh eggs, natural fertilizer, pest control, and in some cases, meat production. For many families, the first financial benefit comes from replacing store-bought eggs. Fresh eggs from your own flock can significantly reduce grocery expenses over time. But the opportunities don't stop there. Extra eggs can be sold to friends, neighbors, co-workers, and local customers. Many people are happy to pay more for fresh, locally produced eggs. Chicken manure can be composted and returned to the garden, reducing fertilizer costs. The birds themselves help control insects by scratching through the soil and eating pests. Some homesteaders also sell chicks, fertile eggs, or breeding stock, creating additional income streams. Of course, chickens require ongoing expenses. Feed, housing, healthcare, and predator protection all need to be considered. But when managed efficiently, a healthy flock can provide value far beyond its operating costs. The key is treating chickens as part of a larger homestead system. The garden feeds the chickens. The chickens fertilize the garden. Kitchen scraps become feed instead of waste. Everything works together. That's why backyard chickens remain one of the most popular and profitable homestead projects for beginners and experienced growers alike. If you're looking for one of the highest value crops you can grow in a small space, herbs deserve serious attention. Many herbs require very little room, yet they often sell for premium prices. Basil, parsley, cilantro, rosemary, mint, thyme, and oregano are all popular choices. Fresh herbs are in demand from home cooks, restaurants, farmers markets, and local grocery stores. Unlike many vegetables, herbs can often be harvested multiple times throughout the growing season. This creates repeated income from the same plants. Many herbs are also easy to preserve. Drying them extends their shelf life and creates additional selling opportunities. Some homesteaders package dried herbs. Others create seasoning blends or herbal teas. These value-added products often increase profitability even further. Herbs also benefit your own kitchen. Growing your own reduces grocery expenses while providing fresh flavor throughout the year. Whether your goal is saving money, earning extra income, or both, a small herb garden offers one of the highest returns per square foot on a homestead. Sometimes a few square meters of herbs can outperform much larger planting areas dedicated to lower value crops. That's why herbs consistently rank among the smartest small space investments. Fruit trees require patience. Unlike annual vegetables, they rarely provide immediate returns. But once established, they can produce for decades. That makes them one of the most valuable long-term investments on a homestead. Apple trees, peach trees, pear trees, plum trees, citrus, and many other varieties provide years of harvests with proper care. Each season brings fresh fruit for your family. Any surplus can be sold fresh, preserved, or turned into value-added products like jams, juices, dried fruit, or baked goods. Fruit trees also improve the overall beauty and biodiversity of a property. They provide shade, support pollinators, and contribute to healthier ecosystems. Although the initial investment may seem significant, mature fruit trees often repay those costs many times over. The key is choosing varieties suited to your climate and maintaining them properly during their early years. Many successful homesteaders say the best time to plant a fruit tree was years ago. The second best time is today. Because every year you wait is another year before those harvests begin. Fruit trees teach one of the most important lessons in homesteading. Sometimes the greatest rewards come from thinking long-term. Beekeeping may seem intimidating at first, but for many homesteaders, it becomes one of the most rewarding projects on the property. The obvious product is honey. Local honey is often in high demand, especially when customers know where it comes from. Many people are willing to pay premium prices for raw, unfiltered honey produced by small local beekeepers. But honey is only part of the story. Bees also improve pollination. A healthy colony helps fruit trees, berries, vegetables, and flowering plants produce better harvests. That means one project can increase the productivity of many others across the homestead. Some beekeepers also earn income by selling beeswax. Beeswax can be turned into candles, soaps, lip balms, and other handcrafted products. Others sell bee colonies, queen bees, or offer pollination services to nearby farms. Of course, beekeeping requires education and proper management. Protective equipment, hive maintenance, and regular inspections are important. But once a colony becomes established, it can continue providing value year after year. Perhaps the greatest benefit of keeping bees is that they contribute to the health of the entire homestead. They don't just produce honey, they help many of your other crops become more productive as well. That's why beekeeping is often considered one of the smartest long-term investments for self-sufficient living. A greenhouse can completely change what is possible on a homestead. Instead of relying entirely on outdoor growing seasons, you gain much greater control over temperature, weather, and plant production. That means earlier planting in spring, longer harvests in autumn, and, in some climates, year-round growing. This additional growing time creates more opportunities to produce food and generate income. Seedlings started in a greenhouse can be transplanted earlier. Extra seedlings can even be sold to local gardeners each season. Some growers dedicate greenhouse space to high-value crops such as tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, herbs, or microgreens. These crops often command premium prices because of their freshness and quality. While a greenhouse requires an initial investment, it can continue increasing production for many years. For serious gardeners, it often becomes one of the most valuable structures on the property. But if there's one project that combines everything we've discussed so far, it's a market garden. A market garden is a small, intensively managed area designed specifically to grow crops for sale. Unlike a traditional vegetable garden, every planting decision is made with efficiency and profitability in mind. Growers focus on high-value crops, healthy soil, succession planting, reliable irrigation, and consistent harvests. Many successful market gardens operate on surprisingly small pieces of land. Some occupy less than a quarter acre, yet they produce vegetables, herbs, flowers, and specialty crops throughout the growing season. Products are sold directly to customers through farmers' markets, local restaurants, community-supported agriculture programs, or neighborhood sales. The result is a business that can generate both fresh food and regular income. A market garden doesn't just pay for itself. For many homesteaders, it becomes the financial engine that supports the entire property. That's why it earns the number 2 spot on this list. A market garden is one of the most profitable projects you can build on a homestead. Unlike a traditional vegetable garden, a market garden is designed with one goal in mind: growing high-value crops that people are willing to buy. Every square foot has a purpose. Every crop is selected for productivity, demand, and profitability. Successful market gardeners focus on crops like salad greens, herbs, cherry tomatoes, green onions, specialty peppers, and microgreens because they can generate excellent returns from relatively small spaces. Another key advantage is succession planting. As soon as one crop is harvested, another takes its place. This keeps the garden producing throughout the growing season and maximizes income from every bed. Many market gardeners sell directly to customers through farmers' markets, neighborhood produce stands, local restaurants, or community-supported agriculture programs. Selling directly often means higher profit margins because there are no middlemen. A well-managed market garden can produce fresh vegetables week after week while building a loyal customer base. It also works perfectly alongside other homestead projects. Compost improves the soil, rainwater supports irrigation, bees increase pollination, and chickens provide natural fertilizer. Everything works together to increase productivity. While building a successful market garden requires planning and consistent effort, it has the potential to become the financial engine of an entire homestead. That's why it earns the number 2 spot on this list of homestead projects that pay for themselves. If there's one project that has the greatest potential to pay for itself and continue generating income, it's not a single structure, animal, or crop. It's a system. The most successful homesteads don't rely on just one source of income. Instead, they combine several small, profitable projects that support one another. Imagine a simple example. Your chickens produce eggs to sell. Their manure is composted to feed your garden. The garden grows vegetables and herbs for local customers. Fruit trees benefit from improved soil and pollination by your bees. The greenhouse extends your growing season. Rainwater keeps your crops healthy while reducing water costs. Nothing operates in isolation. Each project strengthens the next. This approach creates resilience. If one crop has a poor season, another may perform well. If egg production slows, vegetable sales may remain strong. Instead of depending on a single income source, you build several. Over time, these streams begin working together. The savings grow, the income grows, and your dependence on outside resources becomes smaller. Many people dream of creating a self-sufficient homestead. But true self-sufficiency isn't about producing everything yourself. It's about building systems that continually create value. Start with one project, master it, then add another, and another. Eventually, you'll have a homestead where every project contributes to the success of the whole. That's the real secret behind profitable homesteading. Not one perfect project, but many good projects working together. So, which homestead project should you start first? The answer depends on your land, your budget, your skills, and your goals. If you're looking for quick savings, composting or rainwater collection might be the best place to begin. If you want recurring food production, raised beds and backyard chickens are excellent choices. If you're thinking long-term, fruit trees and beekeeping can continue rewarding you for years. And if your goal is building a profitable small-scale business, a greenhouse and market garden can become powerful income generators. But remember the most important lesson from this video. The goal isn't to build every project at once. Trying to do everything in your first year often leads to frustration, burnout, and unnecessary expenses. Instead, build one system at a time. Learn from it, improve it, then move on to the next. Over the years, those small improvements compound into something remarkable. A homestead that feeds your family, reduces your living expenses, creates multiple income streams, and gives you greater independence. Whether you're starting in a suburban backyard, on a quarter acre, or on several acres, the same principle applies. Think long-term, invest wisely, and build systems that continue creating value year after year. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more practical guides on homesteading, market gardening, backyard farming, self-sufficiency, profitable small farms, and building income from the land you already have. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10 projects would you start first on your own homestead? Leave your answer in the comments below. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building a homestead that works for you.